Welcome back to Satisfactory. Now, for those of you who have been following this series on a daily basis, I do apologize for the delay in publishing this episode. I have done extensive rework of the basic products in the base, and in hindsight I probably should have recorded some of it, but well, it is exactly the same products that we used to have. I've just moved things around and changed how things are. Let's begin with one useful tip. If you see these lights on the machines, if it is yellow, it means that it currently has a work order, but that it's not doing anything because it's full. If it is green, it means that it has a work order and that it's working. And if it's red, it means that it either do not have power or it doesn't have a work order. So when you build an array of machines like I've done here, that's when it's useful to check all of the lights to see that they are green and or yellow, so that you know that the products that you are making are being produced. So what have I done off camera? Well, first of all, I have done some work on the miners and also the paths into the base. A great deal of the miners outside of the base are now Mark II, and that's kind of important in terms of what we need for the raw materials, as in the ores that we need for our base. I got the collar gun as well. I don't remember if I did that in the last episode. I haven't made any ammo for it yet. The belts here have been slightly changed because I've upgraded several of the belts to Mark III, and I've also made just one path here, and the reason for that is that the smelting area has been extended quite a bit, and I realized that I'm not going to be able to extend this smelting area much further, so I might have to either go up one step here, maybe two steps actually, to get smelters up there, because that floor should also soon go up to a higher level, which means that the smoke will not go through the foundations. So what do we have down here now? Well, on this side we have iron smelting, and on this side we have copper smelting. I discovered that I had enough copper with some finicking to do the wire without using the iron wire recipe yet. But to explain the belts here, we have two Mark II belts and one Mark III belt coming in with ore. One of those, the top one of those goes here, and that is merger, so it's merging that Mark II belt there. But this one also splits out here and goes to these machines. So four of these four copper ones, are from a miner out here. And then that means 120 on each side merges in this one and goes out into these, which then feeds these 8 smelters here. And these 4 smelters at the end are being fed by the copper mine over there. And this means that we have a grand total of currently 16 smelters that are processing copper. As you can see, they are not back to back as the iron ones are. The iron ones, we have the iron mine over there, where my cursor is. That's a normal node, and the one behind there is a normal node. They merge up there and then feed 8 smelters here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 on each side. Then we have 8 being fed from one normal iron node out that way and one normal iron node out that way. And then finally we have 8 on the other side here, back to back again, being fed by the pure iron node on Mark II. But there is one thing that is very important for me to address in this episode, and that is overclocking, because I didn't have enough copper to not do overclocking, and I didn't want to mess too much with the formula on the iron wire at this moment. So let's go out to the mine and have a look at overclocking and exactly how it works. First of all, to overclock you need to have researched the power slugs in the MAM. And you also need a couple of power slugs to make these batteries here, or power shards. Now if I take out the power shard, you see it goes down to 100%. And this mine is a normal node with a Mark II miner on it, which means that it is capable of producing up to 120 parts per minute. Notice that its power consumption is currently 12 megawatts. Let's put one battery in, and we can overclock it up to 150%. Now, the power consumption didn't change. There we go. There the power consumption changed to 23 megawatts instead, and it's now producing 180 parts per minute. Then you have to put another of these power shards inside to get it up to 200%, which is where we want it, so that it's producing 240 parts per minute, which is what we need. And now it's using 36.4 megawatts of power. So this is highly inefficient in terms of power consumption. Normally it would be using 12, so we are tripling the power consumption to double the production. It would have been better to find another Mark or another normal node and put a Mark II miner down on that. But the nearest copper node is so far away out there somewhere that I didn't want to bother with that, so I just overclocked one of them. That is the only one we have overclocked. You can also underclock buildings. I have already demonstrated that in the power plant videos, so those should be fine. If you have questions about overclocking and efficiency and so forth, do please feel free to give them in the comments. I have an awesome sink here because I was working on all of the smelters and miners, so I got a lot of ingots and ore that I couldn't use for anything, so I just stuck them in there. Now you'll notice that I have belts at the top of the lifts here, and that is to make sure that they are aligned with the end here to where I take the ingots upstairs to the production floor. I've also built a little bridge here, so because I needed to have some conveyors here, and I felt that it's a good idea to have a bridge here. I haven't cleaned up everything, I see. This is from the old setup that was down here. Let's remove these. Not the power line. Better do another one. There we go. So they're gone. I could also converge these belts into one Mark III belt and then just make one splitter in the middle of the coal power plant, but I haven't bothered doing that because there's been so much that I have had to do that for now I'm happy with this being on two belts. So if you go upstairs, if you compare with the previous layout, you'll see that things here have changed quite a bit. I've moved the call them the holes in the floor for the lifts, so that they are now in more sensible locations for the new setup. And these two lifts bring up the copper. We'll get back to that. And over here we have 3 lifts bringing up iron ingots, and 2 of them are being fully utilized, one of them is not. That over there, we'll get back to that as well. First of all, let's take a look at the copper and how I am using the copper. To quickly go over to my spreadsheet here. So one of them goes directly into feeding a lot of machines. And you can see there's a stackable conveyor here for the belt that goes above. So all of these machines here are being fed by that one line, and each of these use 15 ingots per minute. So this is, I believe, 16? Yeah, this is 16 machines producing wire. All of that wire goes down into this container here on this side, or not all of it, but 2, 4, 6, 7 of the machines go into that crate. The other 9, we have one going around here, and then these join up and they converge at this specific merger here. And I'm planning on taking these out this way. Again, I'm using these as corner marks, so here's the road, and the road will continue up here. So I need this tile here to be clear, so I can have a conveyor stackable pole here. Otherwise I would just use this as the road, and I would build machines here. But I want to make sure that I have enough space for the road. Then the belt continues, because 4 of the machines... Yeah, the belt continues here to 4 machines that are also producing wire. So these 4 machines are taking off 60 of the copper ingots. And then the belt continues. These copper ingots are just going straight into these 2 machines. So they produce wire. The wire is taken over to these machines, 60 on each side. And these 2 machines are producing cable, which is then being stored in that one. That container here with wire will also act as a small buffer for wire, so that I can go get wire when I need it. I've made sure that I'm producing a little more than I actually need. And then the belt continues from that splitter up there and takes a turn over here, and it goes to these 6 machines here, which uses the rest of the copper ingots, and these machines are producing the copper sheets that we need for pipes currently. Copper sheets are also being used in other recipes later on, but we'll get back to them probably much later in much later episodes. Then we have iron plate. These machines are producing iron plate. We have 4 machines which are responsible for our, I wouldn't call it a buffer, but it is because it is not being used for anything else. So this is for our belt and regular use of iron plates. These 4 machines goes over to this lift and then into this container here, which is full. The other ones, that's a total of 12. They are producing 240 iron plates, which I am going to take out up there, and this is going to be the inline or in-floor bus for products that I use in other manufacturing lines, production lines. Now the belt up here is also quite relevant, because this belt is supposed to go to this thing. And as you can see, I have a container here. Each of these machines are set to produce casted screws. These machines create 50 parts per minute, which is more when I have 300 being produced. It is more than I can carry on this belt. So this will act as a buffer, so that we have some in reserve. And this needs to go out on level 8 on the stackers, which means that there should be 9 of these. Let's just continue doing what I was doing here, so that I can take you with me on that specific endeavor. Yeah, this is supposed to be a merger, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, when I'm working with the stackable conveyor poles, I count from 0 when I'm placing down these. So let's just use Mark III belts, because we have the steel production as I showed in the previous episode. So we have a buffer of steel beams. I did a mistake in the previous episode. I had 6 machines doing steel beams, and I only had the steel ingots to produce enough from 4 of those machines. So I've shut off 2 of those machines. So let's connect up with lifts here. Can I do it from the top? Yes, I can. Let's just remove the mergers we don't need. There we go. And then place down the lifts. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we can not mark one belt. Then we can connect up that to here. And that needs to be a Mark 3 lift. Now I fully expect that some of the buffer we have in here won't be completely filled because it might end up in the machines, but that's also fine. So we have screws and we have iron plates being transported up there. Let's do the counting thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do I want it there? Yeah, that's fine. So we need to go up to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And connect up the belts. There we go. And then not sure if we are going to go all the way here. I should have planned out where I wanted to put these machines first. I can't use that line. Or actually I can use that line because these are coming out below. But an assembler won't... This place here will be a bit problematic in terms of using assemblers. If I place down a splitter in line with that thing, and then I want to place down an assembler, let's see, 1, 2, 3. I think that's too close. I mean, I could drive a car underneath here, but because then the merger will be 2 usually is sufficient for these. Let's just test that. Yep. Yeah, I guess that'll work. So what should we produce here? I wonder, I think, since we're taking in iron plates... Actually, this is absolutely correct. Yeah. The screws are for a different assembly line. So we need 4 assemblers here. But I don't think I want to have it all the way over there. So let's go back to assembler. I want to place it to here. 1 and come on, 2, and then it should be 3 away. 2, 3, but it isn't. That is actually too far off. Oh, I'm closer. I believe that should be correct. Yep. And now let's try this again. Can I get a snap line to the back of the assembler, please? I'm not supposed to use a merger, that would help. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we place down assemblers at the other side. Use the precision button, I think. I believe it's there. 1, 2, 3. Yep, that gives us the lines, so that's fine. And a final one here. These are supposed to produce stitched iron plates. So we're going to be using 18.75 iron plate and 37.5 wire in each of these. That will, of course, amount to a grand total of 75 iron plate and 150 wire. The iron plates are on level 7, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can do those first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I don't think that this is going to work in terms of the length, because we're at this one, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no. I'm going to need a belt or a stackable conveyor somewhere here. I think I'll place it there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, and then I can turn this, that's a Mark II belt, and I can turn this with the screws to go there, and the iron plates can go there. Can't afford. Okay, I'm out of steel beams. Let's see, I have some crap in my inventory that I can get rid of. But we need to go get steel plates or steel beams. I made the hole here as well because it looks better. This is the section B of the base, and section A is the other one. Scrap 6 stacks, I think, should suffice. Could get rid of some of those items as well in the awesome sink that I have over there. I have too many iron plates, and I have some copper ore and some... Yeah, let's go over there and do that, because I have certain... Those items are not going to be needed anyways. So let's get rid of the ore, the cable, the screws, the reinforced iron plates, 1 stack of those, 2 stacks of those. I can put in the rotors as well, because I'm going to get rid of those at some point. We need 1 stack of cable, 1 stack of rotors. Most of what is in here is going to go into the sink, because these items I don't need. I'm producing new buffers of them. There, now let's place down this belt and connect it up to there, and then we can connect it up to there. And we can climb up on the top of this thing and connect up the final one. We are also going to need a belt or a conveyor. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, so that we can get the screws to go above this. There we go. And for the wire, I think we can go on level 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And then we need to remove the ones that we don't use. There we go. And if I wanted it to go on level... No, level... Is that level 4? Yep, I think it is. Let me just check that to be absolutely certain. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's 5. Okay, then we need to add another one on each of them. And then I'm going to need a lift. I'm going to need the merger. I hope this isn't too close. I suspect it is. Ah, it is. Okay, well, that means I need to rethink this part here, which is going to be annoying. I could move the container backwards, that would probably be easier. Those belts look a bit out of place. Have I managed to do some mistake there? Yes, I very much think I have. Yeah, it's this one. This one is not going to the correct location. It should, though. That doesn't even make sense to me. Maybe I'm just seeing things. I'm very certain that this... Oh, no, it's this one. That's the problem. This one was supposed to be here, not there. Oh, well, that is easily fixable, at least. But this is one of the reasons why I do so many things off camera, because I keep finicking on things like this. And it takes time. It takes a lot of time. Oh, come on, game. So, how am I supposed to do that? What I think I have to do here is actually move everything one out. So 1, 2, and 3. And if I now place that way, I should be allowed to place a lift there. Yes. So, tear down these. Not lifts. Inventory space. Yep, that's good for the moment. And we have to remove all of the lifts as well. There we go. And we have to put this one further out. Like so. And then we can just connect that up to there. Note that I'm not bothering fastening it to the one in the middle there. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. I believe this is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Now it's just a matter of placing down these. I managed to place 2 of them there. Autosave incoming, of course. Why is this so hard? Although you don't have to. I mean, you can just go and stack them on top of one another as long as you turn the final one around. But I found that it doesn't really matter if I turn around early on or late, because it needs to be turned around at some point anyways. So I just prefer to build all of them in the same direction from the bottom up. Go back to Arc 1 lifts. Now I think I can start from up here. It's easier to be able to start from the top when you have them far enough away from the machines. But whenever possible, I usually just use 2 instead of 3. Mostly because it takes less space. There we go, and then we need a Mark III lift here. And connect that up to there. Now this belt will take 270, and we actually need 270, so... But I don't remember if it's this belt or the other one that I use for that purpose. Wait. This is not supposed to connect there at all. This one is supposed to go directly out there on its own, because this already is. Let's see here, so that you can follow on my mathematics. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 9 times 30 is 270. So this is... I'm not sure if this is why they made the belts, the Mark III belts, able to carry 270, but they knew that there was going to be certain situations where those extra 30 would be required to make optimized production lines before you get the Mark IV belts, which is still a ways off. But no matter what the reason is, I'm quite happy with it. Okay, here we can use Mark I lifts. Let's start with the highest ones at the end. Okay. Oh, right. That might be a good idea. Set it to stitched iron plate. All of them should be set to that, yes. Yep. Let's try that again. That sounds better. And that's all of them connected up. So this is one of the most important alternate recipes in the game, as I've explained earlier. You really want to use this recipe if you can. Now we need power to these machines. There, here, and here, and then the final one there. I also need a power pole in alignment with that. That's going to look silly. You know what? I don't think it's going to be a big issue that this power line is slightly offset. Goes to there, and this one goes to this one, and this one, and the machine. So now we are producing 22.4 reinforced iron plates. The next thing that we need to produce... Let's just remove these, I don't need them currently. The next thing that we need to produce is, and we need to make that in the same alignment, is rotors and stators. And I need 4 assemblers making each of those. But I think I want to go a ways off here. I wonder if this is sufficient. Let's make sure that we have this on the correct line. I don't know how... Let's see here. How far can we go here? Okay, so about this far. 1, 2, 3. I wonder if we could actually go further. placed it the wrong way as well. We can barely go further. No, we cannot go that far. So I want to have a machine to snap to, so I'll remove both of them. And 1, 2. Let's just check that I can connect this up with the lift. Yes, I can. Okay, so this is how far we can go. That is perfect. Need to remove that, and then we can place down 4 more on this side. And we have to do the same on the other side. On which I think I'll place down the splitters first. Let's just make sure that I haven't placed it too far away. No, I haven't. Good. So then we need to place on the other side. 1, 2, 3. That is not in alignment. It should be on there, I think. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that looks better. Let's check this one as well to make sure that it is connected, or rather placed in a location that is far enough away and still close enough. Good. And then we place 4 machines on this side as well. 2, 3, and 4. So on this side we're going to have the stators. Note that they take wire and steel pipes. For a grand total of 160 wire and 60 steel pipes. On the other side, we're going to use the alternate recipe for rotors, steel rotors, which takes 10 steel pipe and 30 wire. Let's see here. I'm just checking my spreadsheet. So, in terms of wire, I have a belt. Let's see, 270 is what the belt is taking, and I'm using 150 here. So the wire that's coming on this one should go to the steel rotors. That will be a grand total of 120. Let's remove this. And I think this one is aligned. Why doesn't it give me a snap to the other side? Because I'm using a merger. There we go. Let's just place down 3 of them and continue to do this with all of the machines. There. No, this one is wrong. This one is too close. I wonder if I did the same mistake. Well, that looks right. That looks right. That looks right. But this one is also right. Okay, let's try this again. That's better. Sometimes a bit difficult to see if you're snapping to the machine or if you're snapping to the input. That's a small challenge that you have to face. In terms of distance here, let's remove this. Going from the middle of this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we need to have a stackable conveyor here somewhere. Now I'm gonna do... Come on, come on, come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. The reason why I'm doing this is so that I can upgrade the reinforced iron plate production by up to... I don't know if I need this many machines, but I might actually need more motors instead. So let's do this so I can upgrade the motor production by 1. Which means that I want to have the stackable conveyor pole, I think here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The iron plates are going to be veering off somewhere here, but I'm not sure where. Actually, I don't need them to continue from here, because I have nothing currently that I'm going to use iron plates for after this. Let's remove these extraneous machines. Can place down a conveyor pole there and a conveyor pole here to denominate the road. So the wire is coming in on level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I believe that level 6 is free. Yes, it is. So level 5 and 6 is where the wire is coming in. So if we do the wire on... this one, that's 3, 4, 5 and 6. And we are using 120 wire, so from here on out it will be sufficient with a Mark II belt. Okay, so where are you going? You're going there. I think I'm on too low now. Aren't I? Yes, I am. Oh, okay. Let's just connect them up then. And when we've done that... yeah, you can connect the other way around as well. The game will correct it for you so that the belt is the correct way, as you can see. Now this side needs to take down from that level, so we'll build the lifts right away. There we go. And then we have to go over to the container. We are going to need 160 wire for the stators, so we need to go to Mark III. I just need to check something. That will be going to 1. No, to 2. That will be 3, 4, 5, 6. turn on the light here, even though I'm not a big fan of the light because it's so bright when it hits a machine. I need a lookout tower here. So the lift is there, and it should connect up to there, and then to here, and we can remove the tower. Then we connect that up to these. Oop. Oop. And these require 40 per minute, so we can go back to the Mark 1. I can remove the additional splitters that we are not using now. Like so. So these we have to take from the level above. And then it's a matter of fetching the pipes. Oh, I don't have power coming over to this part of the factory. Well, that's something that I should rectify as well. Can't do it in the middle of the road. What I can do is follow that power pole that I have there. That's probably going to be a waste because it would probably be better to go through these power poles. Let's place down power poles here for future planning. Come on. So, and I don't really care that I'm clipping through there. I'm not a big fan of putting down the power poles until I've connected up everything. So I'm just going to place them down on one side here. And then we can have a power pole here. And we can dismantle that one. And we can connect up this to there. And this one goes to there. Then it's a matter of connecting up these power poles to one another. I'm not going to connect the machines yet. There we go. Now I wonder what we're using. 200, yeah. Because even though these machines have power, they're not really doing anything. Can remove this one as well. But I think that we have to finish this up in the next episode, because this one is already running quite long. So I will look at where to put down the intrafloor bus from this side. And we should be connecting up this and then do the motors in the next episode. So for now, thank you all so very much for joining me. As usual, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comments field, or feel free to also join us in our Discord server. You will find the link in the description of the video or in the banner of my channel. And I will see you all in the next episode.